No, I'm going to go and make some phone calls, because once again, I have to be very, very careful about what I say or not say because of HIPAA requirements. If, in fact, the person who you're mentioning and talking about is associated with us in any sort of way, about who I speak to and under the circumstances, and that only has to do with the state and federal laws that I have to follow.
And that's much appreciated. If I might interject one quick thing. In the meantime, because we have the technology and it's so advantageous in this day and age to use the speedy means of communication, do you have an email address that we could send you a link so that you can see this video right on the internet?
Well, I'm not sure. Well, I can give you my email address. It's fine.
Okay.
Whether or not our security allows me to even see that over, because there's, with public behavioral health things, there are some things that are that they allow and some things they don't.
Right. Well, there's no names used, and of course these people don't show their names, but they do audibly say they're with Impact, and so I think it would be a paramount concern for you to see it. And then secondly, it's going to be on YouTube tonight at the request of the consumer himself. Now, as far as the HIPAA requirements go, we're very familiar with that. And these people can be authorized by the consumer himself through verification with Magellan on the phone. That is within the guidelines of HIPAA.
Okay. Well, I still want to talk to Magellan once again.
Okay. Well, the consumer is readily available here at the place that this call is being placed. He's turned it over to his...
Please go ahead and give me the name of the consumer again.
That will have to have him do, so that audibly on our recording of the whole experience today, it will be clear and concise that that authorization was given by the consumer.
Okay, well, that's not what I'm actually asking for here. Is I'm going to do my own internal check to find out if any of my teams went out. Yesterday is when this occurred?
Night before yesterday.
The night before yesterday, okay. Which was
19th. At about, what was it?
It was the 19th. So, the 19th at about what time? Can you give me an idea of about the times this occurred?
It was on approximately 10 or so in the morning.
Yeah, so 10 or so a.m. in the morning, okay. And
we can tell you exactly if you hang on a second.
Yeah. Just give me some information so I can do some of my own exploration. That would be very helpful to me, and it's probably what you need for me to do anyways.
Right.
Because I'm not going to say anything unless...
Why don't we get that email, because we can at minimum send you a still photo of their faces.
Okay, well, let me start this part here first and then go from there.
Okay.
March 19th, 10 a.m. I don't know if, are you able to give me the address or at least the city in which this occurred so I can start to narrow things down?
Peoria, Arizona.
Okay, Peoria, okay.
Right. And then also, it was reported to law enforcement, the sergeant's name was what?
Robinson.
Sergeant Robinson.
Okay, Sergeant Robinson. Do we have like a case number or anything like that?
No. He used to make a report. It's alarming, and that's on video too. It's astounding.
Okay, so but
no question this is covert.
Okay, Sergeant Robinson from Peoria, then. Peoria Police Force. Your understanding?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And he's on the video as well.
Okay, but he wasn't like part of the Department of Public Safety or anything like that.
No, but he claimed that these people from Impact were with the government, so there's your level of ignorance.
All right, that gives me a little bit of information. Did you want to give me like the actual physical address, or not? This will give me some ideas, because I don't think we go up to Peoria that often.
You know, in order to protect the privacy and your concern in that regard, I think it would behoove us to let the consumer disclose.
Okay, well, that's fine. Well, I'm going to go and check and see that we send out any people from any of our two sites at 10 o'clock tomorrow. That should be fairly...
Not necessarily at 10 o'clock per se, any time on the 19th.
Okay, but you were saying that they show... Because we document, when we go out on a call, we are mandated. We document when people are dispatched, when they arrive. There's all sorts of things that we have to do in order to keep our funding and be in compliance with the rules. So it just makes it easy for me to track down, that's all.
Sure.
I'm trying to help you guys out, actually.
Oh, Tony, we appreciate it, because this poor guy is just devastated by these attacks.
Okay.
And then one could understand as a psychologist. And Tony, you just used the magic word mandate. You said you're mandated to have these records. And that would be what, administrative code?
Well, yeah, well, it comes out of a variety of things. Some of the HIPAA codes, some of the codes of federal regulations. There's a wide variety of different kinds of rules and laws.
Could you let us an understanding, you know, in the scope of those wide laws, because, you know, as we've said, we're not attorneys, but we're at least intelligible enough to know that there's something wrong.
Okay.
So, with regard to that, directly concerning the wide scope of laws and so on, is it also required or mandated by any of the, you know, public policy you've just quoted, that when somebody does show up, no matter who they're with, and claiming to be from the Department of Behavioral Health or anybody else with a credential, that they have to show it?
Of course.
And identify their names?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
of course, without a doubt.
Well, we have a very serious violation, so I sincerely hope they're not with your company.
I highly, highly, highly doubt that they...
And if they aren't, then would you, as a psychologist, recognize when you do see this video the dire need for this individual to have protection?
That's okay, but I can't get involved, especially if the person isn't my client any sort of way. I'm not supposed to be doing anything, and that's why I need to find out, was this person a client?
You know what? Here's a thought. Here's a thought and a measure. What does it take for somebody to seek your services? As obviously you're an intelligent and an integral, ethical doctor. And this person, I assure you, for several years has not had afforded the opportunity to be before anybody with that stature. Are your services available for hire?
Oh, no, I'm simply an administrator. I'm senior leadership here at Impact.
But you do have a degree.
As far as any direct client service. However, let me go ahead and find out from this, because I can do this without violating any sort of rules or laws or anything at all. I can let you know whether or not our records show, and our records are very complete and comprehensive and thorough. They have to be.
Right. And
if there's even a chance that anything happens. So I'm just looking anytime on the 19th for any of our people dispatched up to Peoria, and then go from there. I will also call Magellan and see what's going on. And when I call Magellan, I should be asking for the Matthew Fisher or the Karen Sargent, correct?
You should be asking for Karen Sargent.
Okay. I will go and ask for her.
That's customer service, rather.
Oh, right. Yes.
And then you should actually be, here's the thing. It's already been appealed, but we haven't had any response back yet from the CMO there. And the CMO's name is... Andy Mebane, M-E-B-A-N-E.
All right.
And we're going to continue our calls. We call about every 20 minutes to his office.
Okay.
And leave a message. Because there's a level of danger and an absolute necessity for accountability before the close of business on a Friday afternoon. This person is trembling at times over the fact that they've been falsely committed before, and it's happening again, and nobody's being accountable.
Okay. Well, let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and start moving forward here so I can get some information.
Okay, one quick last verification here. No, this is Dr. Tony Floda?
Floda, F-L-O-D-A.
Okay, and you do have a degree in psychology?
Yep, my PhD is in psychology, yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to go make this phone call.
So you only work as an administrator there?
Yeah, that's all I do.
Well, that's a pretty darn good, reputable thing for your company to do. We're impressed to have somebody with that credential in that position, because it's very helpful.
Yeah, well, thank you. Let me go ahead and see what I can find out here. And then
now, we would like to give you four numbers, rather, to call back so that there's no mistaking that you can get back to us today.
Okay, go ahead.
It's the first number is, well, actually, we won't even give you the office number because we're going to be on that line. But the advocate's name, Ms. Stone, her cell number is, go ahead and give them that.
623.
And Mr. Electric's number is 974, or 9 out of state, very special protection services. And then the other number is area code 6.
Okay, and that one goes to?
That's directly to myself.
Oh, that's yourself. Okay.
Yeah. And then if we can get that email address for you, then we can just send you something, not even an attachment, just where you can go and look at the pictures of these people.
Okay, my name is, the email address is TONY FLODA at Empact, that's spelled EMPACT.com.
SP or ST?
T is in pair.
Pair. SPC.com?
.com, right. And once again, I cannot promise whether or not, I don't really think I can even see any videos or anything that's attached like that, because they have all sorts of security stuff, but maybe they can, so it never hurts to send it. So just go and send it and we'll see.
It's actually quite a bit easier these days, because all you would get would be an email saying, click here and it'll take you to YouTube. And you can see it there.
I mean, look, see, I can't get to YouTube, but most businesses like my own don't allow us to go to YouTube because it's considered to be non-business related, so they don't even allow us.
There's another website then you may want to jot down.
Oh, that's okay. Just go. Why don't you go ahead and send this to me? Let's do it one thing at a time.
Okay, but I just want to let you know that it'll also be published at azjustice.org
okay.
and azjusticenews.org, which will be launched this evening.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Bye.